Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and why wouldn't we start it out with the official cool guy?
What's up, fam? You were brave when others were scared. You were confident when others doubted everything. We've surrounded ourselves with some of the brightest minds, some of the best people. The hard part's over. Hang in there and persevere.
He forgot some of the coolest people. Let me see, that's from... let's see. That's from my son sent me a text. Okay, here we go. So look at this. Intraday volatility levels on the UST market, U.S. Treasury market, have surpassed those of the great financial crisis of 2008. That's not good, folks. Now, look at this. 1 year ago, Silicon Valley Bank was worth $40 billion. Today, it was just sold for $500 million. That's a 99% drop in value. Now, folks, how many times have we heard all these politicians like Elizabeth Warren use the percentage drop that crypto's gone down? I've been through 5 or 6 of these downturns, and each time most of the crypto loses about 85 to 90% of its value, and then it comes back roaring back once things pick back up. But that's the same stuff that Elizabeth Warren and people like her have used to try to condemn crypto. And here it's happening with the fractional reserve banking, which is the real risk. And so these people, there is no honor in these people. They use whatever they have to fulfill their agenda and their masters who they work for. And that's what they care about. That truth doesn't even factor into these people. Now, you got to see this, because this discussion is now in your face. We've been talking about it for years now, but now it's in your face, and you need to see this.
Announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan.
Folks, it's not about green candles. It's not about your favorite. Well, it kind of is, but this is what crypto is really about. It's for all the marbles, all the money, and it's about the world reserve currency, and it always has been. And this poor guy, he thinks that Bitcoin can somehow fulfill this. There's many reasons it can't. But I know one that could help to bridge us to this new, probably not one world reserve currency, but a basket, maybe a global reserve digital currency, one of many. Maybe XRP could be something like the Swiss franc, like what Chris Larson said. But watch this to understand what's really on the line.
Putin announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing. Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they're in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the U.S. dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there is a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system, but certainly the American economic system. And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation. If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our superpower status.
Monica, the world's reserve currency, you said it's a privilege for the United States, for the dollar.
Listen close to what she just said now, folks, because a lot of people, a lot of Americans have never really experienced anything really bad. If this happened, it would. And when she mentions Weimar Republic, they had wheelbarrows of cash going to buy a loaf of bread. That's what she's talking about. And I'm not going to play you the rest of that because I want to show you a couple more things. First of all, CNN covered the same thing. And as you know, they're pretty fake news. Then this is the Kenyan president right here. Watch this.
For the people who work numbers, I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses. You better do what you must do, because this market is going to be different in a couple of weeks.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's an old video or not, but he's right either way. And then there's this from Real Vision today. Saudi Arabia and UAE will buy Kenyan oil with Kenyan shillings instead of US dollars. And then this person drops this graph in here. And look at this graphic in here. And this is what so many people in the United States, like I said, people in the United States have not been through anything. They can't imagine. I can't remember it's like a paradox or something that they call it. But it's the idea that because somebody's never been through something, that they think it'll never happen. But if you look at history shows us that nobody holds the world reserve currency status forever. And so we're at that moment. Now, I've always believed, and I've been told too, I won't say who, but 2 or 3 years ago, I was told that XRP was created to prevent World War III and to replace the petrodollar. I call XRP the Great Compromise, so that we go over to a digital currency system, and it's the bridge. It's a compromise. China, Russia, you go to China, Russia, and you say, okay, we understand that we've squandered we squandered the world reserve currency status. So what we're going to do now is let's have a shared basket. We can all get along. We don't have to trust each other. We have a shared basket of currencies. We have a bridge currency, XRP, and the whole system changes over. It makes sense. Imagine nodes on satellites, like China gets to put them on their satellites. They get to put them underground. Russia gets to do the same. They have them spread across their country. Nobody has to trust anybody anymore. I mean, it would be a world where you didn't have to deal with this anymore. So for me, it's XRP and gold. That's why Glint's one of my sponsors. The link's in the top of the description. I buy physical gold. I buy gold in my Glint account so that I can have this debit MasterCard. And if what that woman just talked about, if we go to a Weimar Republic type situation, if this happens like that overnight, you better hope you have really, for me, XRP on my ledger, gold in my Glint account, and physical gold. So the way I see it is if it really hits the fan, I'm ready. Links in the top of the description on Glint. Now, let's talk XRP. So John Deaton is so right here. Of every digital currency out there, XRP has the most attractive risk-reward ratio, in my opinion. The judge's ruling is coming down within the next few weeks, maybe this week. If the SEC wins, what's the downside from 45 cents? Ripple appeals and we get a status quo. In other words, like Brad Garlinghouse said, we're already operating as if we've lost. I mean, right now. And then he says Ripple wins and made clear XRP isn't a security. Upside, the upside is tremendous in that scenario. Now, the chart guys are seeing something going on here, by the way. This guy says XRP is now going for 50 cents again, which it is trying. We don't know if it's going to get there or not. It's at 46 cents right now. But look at what they're saying here. Dark Defender is one of the guys that does charts. He says XRP engines at full throttle. And then eGreg Crypto said the power of the fib circle. But down here, if you go through all of this stuff, down here, he says $2.30 is coming by the end of April 2023. Now that is one of the more bold tweets that I've seen this guy do. Hope he's right. And then we've got this. Pro-crypto and pro-Bitcoin Democrats are lining up to voice their opposition to their own party's stance. Democrats are on the verge of driving their own voters away and losing support from this important new voter bloc. In my opinion, it could cost the Democrats the 2024 election. There's no doubt about it. This will be the dumbest political move by any party in the history of voting, in my opinion, in the United States. And even a congressman is hopping on the Fire Gary Gensler movement. Warren Davidson, who I think he's one of the guys that's supposed to be bringing us a new day, which I still haven't seen. And then there was this. Binance, I even saw this on CNBC. Binance, crypto exchange Binance and founder CZ sued by the CFTC over regulatory violations. So, I've said it for a while. What I didn't understand is everything I've ever read from ETHgate until Operation Choke Point, the SEC and the CFTC are working together, including meeting with FTX. So, for some reason, I don't understand why, but crypto seems to be giving Caroline Pham from the CFTC a free pass when she's involved in Operation Choke Point, as you can see here. But yet she's going to DC FinTech Week and sitting on stage, and they're treating her like she's a friend of crypto, but not according to what we've seen in the past. I can't remember who tweeted it, but they said that all of these agencies are involved in Operation Choke Point 2.0. So it's not just the SEC. So I'm still wanting someone to explain that to me. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that the CFTC was also involved in ETHgate. They were also involved in meeting with Sam Bankman-Fried of CFTC, having planning sessions with Sam Bankman-Fried. They're involved in Operation Choke Point 2.0. So why are they being treated like they're a friend to crypto? I can't figure this one out. And Caroline Pham used to follow me. She doesn't follow me anymore, so apparently I made her mad. But I mean, that's a legit question for people in crypto to be asking.